Hey everyone, my name is Danielle Pierre, and I am on the ACW Communications Committee. And I'm so excited because I am going to be your hostess today for our Beyond the Board interview, where we get to interview our board members and learn a little bit more about them, what they do inside the boardroom and outside the boardroom as well. So, with me today, I have Miss Jackie. I am so happy that you are here with me today. So, first of all, Jackie, tell me a little bit more about you. Who are you and what do you do?
Oh, well, thanks for having me, Danielle. Appreciate it. I love this group. The ACW has been amazing to my career and personally. I am currently channel chief of Dark Points. We own and operate data centers, and I have been in the channel, I think, about 15 years. I don't want to age myself too much, but they hired me a couple of years ago to start a channel program. So originally, my background, I am born and raised in Brazil. Didn't speak English until I was 13, moved to the Chicagoland area, went to school there, go Redbirds. I'm an ISU alumni and ended up moving to Chicago and started my telecom career there. And have gone, over probably the last 8 to 10 years to 4 different companies, and been very fortunate. So happy to be here.
Yeah, wow, that's such an incredible story. I think I have so much respect for, people who immigrate from other countries. It's just so incredible. So thanks for, showing
Nice.
us and leading the way on how we can be successful as women. So tell me
Thank you.
more about your journey to becoming a board member for ACW. Like what motivated you and made you want to join?
Oh, this is I love telling the story too. It was my very first channel partner show in Vegas, and if you know anything about those, they are huge. I'm gonna date myself again. I was pregnant, so it had to be 2012. Walking around Vegas, pregnant with high heels. A friend of mine,
That's
rookie
brave.
mistake, rookie mistake. Um, Never again. But now we all know to bring 7 pairs of shoes if you ever go to that show. Friend of mine and colleague, Trisha, she is an amazing friend now. She told me we get to the channel partner show, and there is this group. It used to be called Women in the Channel. And let's go. We're doing a little meeting. There's going to be 20 to 30 of us. We're just getting together to just talk about being a woman in the tech industry, because at the time we were about 3% of us were women and the rest were men. So very heavily male dominated. So I go into this place. I was lost for a while. It was just a few tables, maybe 4 or 5 tables, and all the ladies just sitting around, just discussing, what made us differentiate ourselves from the men. How are we going to do this? How are we going to become leaders? So that was a really neat experience for me. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I thought it was like a fashion show where everybody dressed so fabulous. And fast forward to now, it's been 12 years since that first time that I went to an ACW show. Since then, we've rebranded. We have exploded in numbers with membership. We're no longer a tiny minority in the industry. We're still, I think, about 14, 15% women. But we've come a long way. I think the last show we had about 700 or 800 ladies in the room, as well as men. So we're being very inclusive. And there's a lot of us, and most of us in leadership roles now as a result. So I'm really, really excited. Love telling that story. And I recommend it to every woman that I meet, especially newer ones in the channel.
Yeah, and that's such a great segue into my next question, Jackie. So you're a channel chief. I aspire to be a channel chief one day. So what advice, and I'm sure there's other women watching this too who also have dreams of being a channel chief or being in different leadership roles. So what advice would you have for our listeners if you're trying to climb the ladder and become a leader in the channel space?
That is a tough question, and I'm not an expert at climbing a ladder, by any means, but I have learned a few things along the way. Number one, make sure you're not the smartest person around yourself. Surround yourself with great leaders, with great motivators. I love my technical people, right? Like the CTO of my company, probably the most brilliant person I've ever met. People that motivate and have done the role. There's people like Michelle Kadlachuk from Spectrum Enterprise. She's always motivated me. She's been in that role before, and I've always thought maybe I could get there. The way you get there too is you have to make sacrifices. So you may need to change a role. You might be comfortable in a role. As a channel manager, I was super comfortable. I was at the same role for 8 years. I was crushing it, making a ton of money. And I had to kind of look at my career as a whole and sort of say, okay, what's the next step? I'm going to take a pay cut, go work for a bigger company, learn more. And that's an investment in my career. And that really paid off. So I went from channel manager to 3 years later, got lucky to get a channel chief role. But I did take sacrifices. So, that's my best advice. Also, don't let people take things away from you. We are often faced with, oh, you moved or you have a different zip code. So now, you can't support that partner anymore because you're in a different state or whatever. You're too far away. There's another channel manager moving into that specific town. I've been told that many, many times, especially with my like top 5 partners. And I put my foot down and I said, no, you can't disrupt that relationship. That's what made me successful. That's what made the company successful. So yeah, I'm going to fight and keep it. And I was successful in doing that part, which is great. So yeah, don't let people come in and try to change things. And with that, at least, you have to be respectful, but at least you can stand up for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be your own advocate, right? Like it's no
Yeah,
one else's job but yours to be
100%.
your own advocate and speak up for what you want.
100%. Yeah. So we're all so afraid of doing that. I think as women too, just we've always been taught, especially in this industry, right? All the men were leaders and we have to listen to them. And, there's some amazing ones. Most of them are amazing, but sometimes you get a person that comes in and wants to shake things up and wants to change everything. And it's okay to stand up for yourself.
Yeah,
100%.
I love that. That's so empowering and so encouraging to hear that. So let's switch gears a little bit. So tell me about life outside of work. So what do you do for fun? And I can't imagine how busy you are with all the with stuff going on at work. So how do you manage to enjoy your personal life while also succeeding in your professional life?
I love this question too, because I have fun no matter, personal, professional. If you know me, I go to the trade shows and I enjoy myself. I love what I do. I don't feel like I'm going to work. When I travel, I love the partners and I consider most of them my friends. So I love to run. I like to Peloton. I have 2 kids, 11 and 8. One of them actually his birthday's tomorrow. He'll be 12. And like I mentioned, when I was pregnant, my first ACW event, I have always worked from home and I've always kept a nanny. I know that I can't be here. They're about to walk in from camp right now, and I can't be in a phone call in a meeting if they're disrupting. And they're not disrupting, but they don't understand sometimes that, hey, mommy's busy. You can't just run in there. Also, it's kind of an investment. I know having help, or if you're lucky enough to have parents around, which I don't, my parents are in different states. So I've always kind of delegated, like, hey, can you drive my kid to this? And so the nanny helps us a lot, so I can actually focus. And then I can actually invest in my career and not be driving to camp instead of being in a 1 hour meeting in the morning. And then on the weekends, I turn everything off. Typically it's telecom, right? We're not saving lives. Sometimes we are. Some people have hospitals. That's why we have a 24/7 knock who answers the phone. But if it's an emergency, people know that I have kids and they know me. So it's very personal. So if somebody calls me on a weekend for something, I know it's probably important, or they'll text me. But I do tune out, on the weekend. I'm not looking at my phone and emails. I'm actually focused on my family and my friends and decompressing a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's so important too, creating boundaries around work. And I love what you said about we're not saving lives because most of the time it's not really an emergency. And I think I
Yeah.
have to tell myself that sometimes, right? I'm like, well, wait a second. Is this really going to wait, hold on.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I call that.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So,
Very
uh,
good.
Cool. So let's go into our last question here that I have for you, Jackie. So what message would you send to our viewers about the importance of uplifting and empowering other women?
Oh, I love this part of this messaging because it's the the first thing I did when I joined ACW is I found my tribe. I called them my tribe. It's this group of girls. So now we're all women and we're all leadership roles, but we're all new at the time. We sort of stuck together. They know who they are. And there's five of us. We're still on the same group text message together. And we have been for, I think, upwards of 10 years. That we're all leaders now. There's a VP, there's another channel chiefs. Like, so we've always kind of stuck together. And every time something happens, good or bad, we're always there for each other. And, we're in a group text, but we can pick up the phone. Like if one of them calls me, I know I'm going to answer that phone call because it's, this is my tribe. That's kind of what we consider each other, our tribe. And when something bad happens, if they go through something with their family or, kids or what have you, or moving, we're always there to help each other out too. So, the most important advice I would give to somebody is find your tribe and love them hard, because these are girls are going to be there forever. It's almost like a sorority, but we're grown ups now, so it's a lot less of the cheering squad and more of the empowering. Like, hey, do you think I could do this job? And most of them are like, heck yeah, you can do it. I'm here for you. What do you need? I'll be a reference. I'll let you talk to people. Even when they're changing jobs, if somebody is not happy, we're a confidential little crew and we have each other's backs. And here, I'll send your resume to this person. I know about this position. So I've been very fortunate to find that. And I would encourage anybody, whether you're brand new or been around for a while, just find your tribe, find your girls that you can trust and really rely on, and also lift everybody else up too.
Mhm.
When you get into a leadership role, I'm very fortunate. And if I have a new person starting in my company, actually that just happened a month ago. I brought her with me, introduced her to everybody at the last trade show. She's awesome. She's loving it. So lift them up. Always lift each other up. There's no room for mean girls in the channel.
I love that so much because that's kind of how I've formed my tribe, my community, because I feel really fortunate. I too have a group of girls who I can lean on no matter what, and I don't know where I'd be without them. But I agree with you.
Too.
In my life, in my personal life, in my professional life, I do not have space for me girls.
No,
So
no, we don't have time for that. No,
absolutely not. Well, Jackie,
no, yeah, I was gonna say if you're a mean girl too, it's gonna bite you. It's gonna come back at you. If you know anything about the channel, a lot of us change jobs. We're just changing the different logo in our shirt, the shirt color, but we're always gonna work together. Whether you're doing this or this, everybody always ends up working together, which is awesome. It's a big giant family, so you never want to burn bridges. That's probably the best advice I could give to somebody too.
yeah, and I think the channel's so unique in that way too, right? Like you said, there's some people and I've heard stories, it's like, "Oh, I knew that person and I had a great experience with them," or "I did not," and that is really gonna affect your reputation, so always be thinking
Yeah.
of that and try and show up how you can be. What can you do for other people?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, Jackie, it was so great talking to you. This is so much fun. Thank you so much
Too.
for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you for having me, Danielle. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks.